Well, that was unexpected. 3 understable drivers, 3 different speeds, 3 Masters power levels. One of the MA50 testers has already given up on the Axiom Rhythm. By the end of this test, he said he was stealing it from me. I'm Charles with Masterline Disc Golf, and today we're testing the Streamline Ascend, the Axiom Rhythm, the Innova Sidewinder with the MA40, MA50, and MA60 arm speeds. A 6-speed, a 7-speed, and a 9-speed. Real Masters players, real arm speeds, real results. Let's find out which one actually fits your game after 40. All 3 of these discs are supposed to help with the same basic problem: getting easier turn, usable distance, and control without having to throw max effort. But they do it in different ways. The Streamline Ascend is the slowest in the test. The Axiom Rhythm sits right in the middle. The Innova Sidewinder is the fastest. That matters because Masters players' disc speed is not just a number. It can be the difference between a disc turning like it should or flying too stable because you never fully unlocked it. So here's what we're working with. The Streamline Ascend is a 6.5, -3.5. The Axiom Rhythm is a 7.5, -2.1. And the Innova Sidewinder is a 9.5, -3.1. On paper, they all point towards easier turn and controllable distance, but that does not mean they fly the same. A 9-speed Sidewinder might be the perfect for the one arm speed and too much for a disc for another. The Ascend has the slowest speed, so it could be easier to access for slower arms. And the Rhythm is right in between. The middle ground is what made this test interesting, especially because Rex had already given up on the Rhythm, and let's see what actually happened. For this test, we're not just asking which disc flies the farthest. We're looking at which disc gives Masters player power levels the most usable flight. That means controlled distance, predictable turn, and a finish you can actually trust on the course. We tested these across 3 power level windows. MA40, around a 340-foot range. MA50, around a 290-foot range. MA60, throwing around a 240-foot range. Same disc, different arms, different results. Let's start with MA40. I've never thrown neutron plastic, and I just love the feel of this. The edges are smooth. Coming out of your hand just feels like butter. I was worried that it would turn a little too hard. I was trying to keep it around 70–80%. It had pretty good glide. I didn't have to force it. It got good distance. I like it, but I have discs that I throw right now that I feel more reliable with. I like Star Plastic, nice release. I expected it to be a little bit of turn, but it held a straight line or it faded pretty hard. To get a little more distance, I was gonna have to put it on an ante. No, this won't make my bag. A neutron plastic feels really good. The rim's just the perfect size for me. Comes out so smooth for me. Oh, it shocked me. It didn't take much to get it to go very far. Felt very controllable. I felt like I could throw it at 70% and get really good distance and hit my line every time. I'm gonna throw it a little bit more after this. At MA40 power, the Rhythm gave us the most complete flight, but this is where Masters testing gets interesting. Controlled power showed the Rhythm best flight, but full power exposed the risk. And that matters because a disc does not just fly well once. It has to be repeatable on the course. Now let's go to MA50.
I love the feel of the disc in my hand. I love the rim size. I've got this same disc. This one, I got a little bit more turn out of it. It did feel controllable. I had to force it a little bit because of the tailwind. I actually own this disc. It does make it in and out of the bag, yeah. I thought it felt really good. I like Star Plastic. I like the size of the disc. I was hoping to get a little bit more turn out of it. It says -3 on the turn. It didn't do that for me, but I couldn't get the flip to flat. It felt really good. Loved the 6, 7, and 8 speed rim. And I've thrown this disc before, and this one performed a lot better than one that I used to have. It did feel controllable to me. Felt really smooth out of my hand, really good release. I had one that didn't make my bag, but this one I might try to steal from you.
That reaction from Rex is the story of the test. He had already given up on the Rhythm, but as his form improved, the disc started flying the way it was supposed to. And by the end, he said he was stealing it from me. That's exactly why we test with real Masters. Now let's see what happened at the MA60 level.
It actually felt pretty good. I was having trouble with my releases on it. I kept releasing late and I couldn't seem to correct it very well. It went super straight. If I needed this to just go down a tunnel shot, this would be the one. The glide was okay. I felt like I had to put a little more effort in it. It actually felt pretty good. No, I was really expecting it to turn. It faded almost every time I threw it. It went a little farther than I thought it would. The glide was good. I could control it once I knew what it was gonna do. It felt really good. Grip was really nice. I really thought again it might turn a little bit more. It's awesome. It looks so pretty in flight. It just looks like it's gliding farther, but it's so smooth. I didn't have to put as much effort into throwing it, so definitely controllable.
That's why we test with real Masters, because the numbers on the disc don't tell the whole story. A 6-speed, a 7-speed, and a 9-speed can all look useful on paper, but they do not fit every arm the same way. Let's go get the Masters verdict. All right, here's where it lands for Masters players. This is not about which disc is best overall. It's about which disc fits which arm speed. The Streamline Ascend is the 6-speed of the group, and in this test, the lower speeds matter. Who does it fit? I think it fits the MA50 group. This is probably the disc for players who want easier turn without feeling like they have to force the throw. It'll be especially useful for players who are not trying to overpower the disc but still want workable movement and controlled distance. I think MA40 power players need to be careful with it. If you already throw with more speed, the Ascend may turn more than you already want, and you may have to control that angle very specifically. That does not mean it's a bad disc. It just means it rewards smooth power more than full power. The Ascend may not be the flashiest disc in the test, but at the right power level, it might be one that makes the most sense. The Innova Sidewinder. It's the fastest disc in the test. 9-speed, big glide, big turn potential. Who does this disc fit? For this test, the Sidewinder looked like the best fit for the MA40 power. This may be the best option for players who still have enough arm speed to unlock the full Sidewinder flight. Even though the numbers say -3, it flew more stable than expected unless it was thrown at full power. To get close to the intended flight path, you really have to get up on that speed. Who should probably avoid it? MA50, MA60 may need to be careful with. If you do not have quite the arm speed for the Sidewinder, it will probably not fly like the numbers suggest. And that's one of the biggest lessons for Masters players. Sometimes the discs with more speeds don't actually give you what you think they're going to by the number. The Sidewinder has the biggest flight potential, but only if you have the power to unlock it. The Axiom Rhythm sits right in the middle. It's a 7-speed, -2 turn. It has a reliable finish. Who does this disc best fit? I think it best fits most Masters players. It gives you some workable turn, but feels controlled. It's not as fast as the Sidewinder, and it's not as touchy as the Ascend can be at higher power levels. For a lot of players, that makes the Rhythm the safest middle ground in the test. And Rex's reaction at MA50 power backed that up.
But this one, I might try to steal from you.
He already given up on the Rhythm, but as his form improved, the disc started flying the way it was supposed to. By the end, he said he was stealing it from me. That's exactly what you want from the disc in this slot. Who should be careful with it? Most Master players with higher arm speeds may need to be careful with it. If you throw too hard, the Rhythm can overturn and lose that controlled flight. That does not make it a bad disc. That's why you test at multiple power levels, because sometimes the disc is not wrong, sometimes it just needs the right speed, the right form, and the right throw. And as Masters players, the best disc is not always the fastest. It's the one that gives you most usable flight. So if you're a Masters player looking at discs like these, don't just ask which one of these goes the furthest. Ask which one of these gives me the best shot at my arm speed. For higher power Masters arms, that might be the Sidewinder. For smooth MA50 power, the Ascend makes a lot more sense. But for the widest range of Masters players, the Rhythm may be the safest middle ground. And sometimes, that's the disc you almost give up on. If you're a Masters player trying to play smarter and play longer, this channel is built for you. And since the 1K giveaway is going on right now, I'll link the giveaway videos in the description and pinned comments. Make sure you enter on the video so it counts. If you want to understand why disc speed matters so much for Masters players, watch this video next. Play smarter, play longer.